Hello, we are Group 1 and this is our formal presentation on low graduation rates at Wayne State University. My name is Rebecca John.
I'm Tanjina Ahmed.
I'm Varleen, Gill.
And my name is Arif Khan.
Our group consists of 4 members, Ms. Tanjina Ahmed, Ms. Varleen Gill, Mr. Arif Khan, and myself, Rebecca John. To begin with, we are all students of the College of Engineering here at Wayne State University. Ms. Ahmed and Mr. Khan are third-year students, while Ms. Gill and myself are second-year students. As students of such rigorous coursework, we are familiar with low GPAs and the impact schoolwork has on students financially and mentally. Furthermore, we all have individual qualifications. Ms. Ahmed is experienced in drafting reports through her experience as an intern at American Axle and Manufacturing. Ms. Gill is a member of Wayne State's Warrior Racing Team, a team that constructs a race car and competes in statewide competitions, and therefore is well-versed in reading through guidelines and protocols. Mr. Khan has had first-hand experience in considering dropping out of school due to a combination of difficult courses and financial limitations. And I myself have had experience working with city and school officials while on the committee for a charity race. The purpose of this presentation is to discuss the low graduation rates at Wayne State University. Wayne State University has suffered from low graduation rates for a long time now, and once was known to have the lowest graduation rates in all of Michigan. When comparing Wayne State with Georgia State University, a university with undergraduate students of similar backgrounds, Wayne State falls short with their graduation rates. In 2014, only a third of the undergraduates who had arrived 6 years earlier earned a bachelor's degree. That's about 40% lower than Georgia State University. When it came to African American students, about 1 in 10 African American students who enrolled at Wayne State University graduated with a bachelor's degree. The rate for African American male students was only 14%. Fast forwarding to our current time, the graduation rate of African American students rose to 26%. In general, the graduation rate of students who were enrolled in the year 2006 was 26%. This rate eventually rose to 44% regarding students who were enrolled in 2011, and finally rose to 45%, as mentioned. In the recent years, Wayne State has been able to increase the numbers to about 45% by hiring about 100 academic advisors. Our group focused on finding a possible method to continue to increase the graduation rate. We conducted primary research in the form of student surveys, interviewing advisors, and personal anecdotes. We also used our resources for secondary research, such as journals and articles. Our results showed dropping GPAs and high expenses are 2 driving factors that lead students to drop out of school. As a result, our team drafted a proposal on a solution that could potentially maintain GPAs, which would then in turn allow students to keep their scholarship. We brainstormed and realized if students had a more balanced workload, they will be more likely to maintain their GPA. Our idea is providing a 4-year plan for all majors available on Wayne State's website. A 4-year plan is an outlook on which combination of courses to take for each semester of a 4-year bachelor's degree. There are a lot of resources that would go into this plan, including time and finance. The most integral members of our plan are our academic advisors, who will be drafting the 4-year outlook. We recommend Wayne State University invest more in online resources for students. In addition, it is evident hiring more advisors improves graduation rates. In the following presentation, Ms. Ahmed will be discussing in detail the qualifications of the other members of the team. She will detail how our experiences are valuable insights in formulating a solution. She will also go in detail about our 4-year plan. Ms. Gill will be discussing the results from our primary research. She will talk about how students' responses helped us grasp a clearer picture of this problem at Wayne State University. She will also break down the budget for our proposal to see how much each part will cost for Wayne State. Lastly, Mr. Khan will summarize our presentation and go over all key points. To go into more detail of our qualifications, I, Ms. John, have experience working in large-scale community impact. In 2017, I was a member of a student team that ran the Super Just 5K, SJ5K, in the Plymouth Canton community. The SJ5K is a charity race that raises financial and community support for families in medical crisis. My main duties were promoting the race and registering runners. As a result, I was constantly in contact with school principals, city officials, and students. I learned how to effectively and professionally communicate to each type of audience. I am also skilled in considering all factors that can influence such large-scale projects. Next, Ms. Tanjina Ahmed will go into more detail of the other members' qualifications and our proposal.
For our formal proposal, we first ensured we were qualified to carry out this sort of project. We are all students of the College of Engineering at Wayne State University. Engineering school is one of the most rigorous curriculums at any university. As students who partake in this, we know the difficulties college students experience in the purest form in maintaining GPA, in gaining financial aid, in the pursuit of succeeding. We come from different cultural and financial backgrounds. Some of us work 1 or 2 jobs while taking classes full-time, and others are privileged to be fully supported by our parents. Being from different cultural backgrounds, we have different priorities. Some of us have to balance a family life, work life, and school life all at once, leaving little room for downtime. Each team member also has unique qualifications and experiences. I, Ms. Ahmed, work at American Axle and Manufacturing as a product engineering intern. I work on many projects and write technical reports on my work's progress and attend meetings to discuss future improvements at the company I work for. With professional experience, I am well versed in how to write proposals collaboratively that are straight to its main point. Ms. Gill is a member of the electrical team of Wayne State University's Warrior Racing Team. The Warrior Racing Team is dedicated in designing, manufacturing, and competing a formula-style race car. When competing, Ms. Gill and her team have to ensure their car meets the rules and regulations of the competition. Ms. Gill is qualified in reading through protocols and enforcing that rules are followed properly. Our final member, Mr. Khan, is one who has genuinely considered dropping out of school. Mr. Khan did not like to go into detail, but he stated, "There was a point where nothing was working out. I didn't think I would make it in the engineering field." Mr. Khan explained while in his second year at the university, he had fallen behind in managing difficult courses while searching for an engineering internship. This led him to have a very low self-esteem and resulted in him contemplating dropping out of school and working full-time in a technical job. However, after weighing pros and cons and discussing with his advisor and family, Mr. Khan decided to work through another semester with not as many rigorous courses and hoped for different results. Fortunately, Mr. Khan changed his study habits, became more organized, and created a personal timeline. With this personal experience, Mr. Khan is an invaluable insight into the problem we focused on. So moving on to our proposed program. Our proposal is based on the results we have gathered from research, interviews, and surveys. Our primary and secondary sources both suggest the greatest factor driving students to drop out or financial drawbacks. The most common way students lose their financial aid and scholarships is by not maintaining full-time status as a student or their grade point average dropping below the criteria. Our proposed program is an attempt to assist students in maintaining their GPA and prevent financial setbacks from success in their academic career. We suggest creating a 4-year plan to majors accessible on the university's website. The 4-year plan is a breakdown of what combination of courses should be taken each semester during the course of a bachelor's degree. The purpose is to create a well-balanced schedule for students to ensure they do not overload themselves. These plans will be posted online on Wayne State University's website under each major's webpage. After surveying students of Wayne State University, 60% of the surveyors scored the advising staff at the university 3 or lower, which can be seen in this pie chart. They attributed their meeting with advisors was not plausible for most students. With work and school, there were conflict in schedules, and to answer 1 or 2 questions, it was easier to just ask around and find answers. Our research showed that the College of Engineering typically provides 4-year plans for its students. However, the College of Liberal Arts does not have such sort of structure for the majority of its majors. Students who consider themselves pre-medical or pre-pharmacy are given a list of required courses they need to complete in order to take the respective entrance exams. But there are no suggestions as to how to balance semesters to ensure students do not overload themselves. A balanced 4-year plan for these students will allow them to be successful in their courses, maintain their GPA, and graduate on time. All of this would lead them to further into graduate school at an appropriate time. These positive impacts will hopefully reduce the number of students dropping out of the university. In order to carry out our proposal, our plan is to have advisors draft these curriculums during their allotted office hours, and afterwards make it easily accessible for students at Wayne State to view, and of course, if any adjustments should be made towards a student's 4-year plan, the student would meet their advisor and have a one-on-one discussion for any changes required. Now, continuing our discussion of our proposal, next we have Ms. Varleen Gill.
On April 4th, we sent out a survey to be taken by Wayne State students. The survey was completed anonymously and voluntarily. This means that only students who wanted to voice their opinion about the graduation rate took the survey. One of the questions that was asked in the survey was, in your opinion, what factors drive students to drop out of college? The responses are displayed in this bar chart. Through these responses, it can be concluded that students believe the greatest factor students drop out is because of financial reasons. In addition to this survey, Ms. Ahmed also furthered our research by interviewing her advisor, Mr. Wadley, the academic advisor for Wayne State's Department of Mechanical Engineering. Interviewing an advisor was important because this gives us a better outlook on things from a perspective other than a student's. His responses were taken note of by Ms. Ahmed. One of the questions Ms. Ahmed asked Mr. Wadley was to list some reasons that students drop out of college. His response was that students are not being prepared academically and have bad study skills. What he meant by this is that students are using high school study methods that cannot be applied in college, and this prevents them from taking college seriously. Mr. Wadley also feels that financial reasons take a huge toll on student dropout rates. Another question that Ms. Ahmed asked was, what some of the reasons are that graduation rates at Wayne State have improved. Mr. Wadley stated that there is a lot more support at the university than there has been in the past. For example, there is more advising support, as over 100 advisors were just recently hired. In order for our proposal to be successful, we must set a budget. There will be two main sections for the purpose of having a budget. The budget will be used to hire more advisors specific to majors and to offer more scholarships to the students. At Wayne State, there are about 320 majors offered for students to take. This would mean that about 200 advisors would need to be hired, as most do not have major-specific advisors. The average salary for a university academic advisor is around $40,000. Wayne State University would need to set aside some money to hire these advisors. This would have a very positive impact on the graduation rate at the university. As Wayne State's mechanical engineering advisor, Mr. Wadley had stated, one of the main reasons that Wayne State's graduation rate is increasing is because over 100 new advisors were hired. Hiring more advisors would mean drafting classes that balance easy and hard classes specific to students' majors. This would make it easier for students to maintain a high grade point average and would not pressure them into having to complete their degree within 4 years. Hiring more advisors would also give them more time to spend on a plan for each major, helping students select what classes to take. Developing a plan has proved to be successful, as biomedical engineering students are required to follow a plan. These students are required to take classes together as a major and all graduate at the same time. This helps them because these students avoid taking unnecessary classes, avoid taking longer to graduate, and it helps them to maintain their scholarship. Another positive side to doing this is that students part of the same major all stay together through the duration of completing their degree. This gives students a way of getting to know students within their major, as they are all in the same classes for years. Doing this can help them all to get to know each other and can help each other through difficult classes. Another portion of the budget will be to give out more scholarships to students. This, however, does not necessarily need to be paid for by Wayne State. There are companies that are willing to sponsor universities and offer money for scholarships. All Wayne State would need to do is reach out to these companies and ask them to sponsor. After doing this, the university can post these scholarships online next to the ones that Wayne State currently offers. Doing this can bring in thousands of dollars without Wayne State spending anything. This money can then go to students depending on if they fit the qualifications for the scholarships that the company will be looking for. The average annual cost for attending Wayne State as an in-state student is around $13,000, as shown in this figure. This money can be largely paid for by scholarships, and this way, more students will be able to afford to attend the school. Next, Mr. Khan will be concluding our proposal.
My colleagues and I have specific qualifications that make us appropriate for this topic. We are all engineering students at Wayne State University. Ms. John has experience in working with a large community where she took part in a fundraising program. Ms. Ahmed is interning at an automotive company where she gained professional experience. Ms. Gill is part of the Warrior Racing team at Wayne State University, in which she is working to create a Formula-style race car. And myself, Mr. Khan, have experience in being one of those students who considered dropping out of college due to rigorous courses. Our proposal is to help Wayne State University increase their graduation rate with our program. The solutions that we came up with is offering scholarship opportunities and having a budget for hiring academic advisors, along with our proposed program, which is the 4-year plan. The resources that we used came from asking the students at Wayne State questions regarding on dropping out of college. We asked the students what are the factors that drive students to drop out of college. The survey included responses such as financial reasons, difficulty of classes, lack of time management, etc. And the outstanding response was that students believed that financial reasons is the main cause of dropping out of college, which leads me into another resource that we used for our report. We asked an advisor at Wayne State regarding the reasons students drop out of college, and we were told that financial reasons is one of the main causes, and that is why Wayne State should offer more scholarship opportunities. Most of the time, there are opportunities, but students are not aware of these because of their really busy schedules, so there should be more advertisement about scholarships. Wayne State should also partner with companies so that scholarships can be given to students. Another topic that was spoken about with the advisor was that hiring more academic advisors lead to an increase in the graduation rate, and that is why it's in our budget to hire more. The increase of advisors leads to an increase in counseling for students, which gives them more help to figure out their future in school. And our proposed program is the 4-year plan. The most common reasons for students losing their aid and scholarships is due to the fact of not having high enough grade point average requirement. And some curriculums do not have the 4-year plan, but others do. Our plan is to implement this for all of the curriculums. This program will help students maintain their grade point average and prevent any financial setback, which will lead to a successful academic career. The purpose of this plan is to create a well-balanced schedule for students so that they do not overload themselves during the semester. This proposal is for the success of Wayne State and their students. And here are the references that we use for our report. And also, if you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and we appreciate your time. Thank you.